Hi, my name is Ludmina Ibella, and I serve as Deputy Director here at Kente International. Welcome and thank you for being here. Today we are going to talk about Kente International's internship program. This is a work-based career and technical education program, or as we like to call CTE. Students earn credit hours that count towards their GPA. We offer three CTE programs: government, global politics, international relations, diplomacy, foreign affairs, business and finance and digital technology, and digital society. But today we are going to talk about government, global politics, international relation, diplomacy, and foreign affairs. As you can see, we are based at the Watergate, one of the most iconic addresses in Washington, D.C. But that is only the tip of the iceberg for what this wonderful program holds. So let's start with the big question. What exactly is this program? Well, founded by former U.S. diplomats and educators, this is a highly interactive, real work-based CTE internship. Interns act as real liaisons with the DC Council, NGOs, and international organizations, not simulations, real tasks. As I said, students earn GPA credit for their participation. A core piece of the program is the Model United Nations, where we connect students with their peers globally. Global immersion and cultural immersion includes embassy visits, congressional hearings, and cultural museum trips. Now that you know what this program is, let's tell you who we're looking for. This program is for high school students only, and the right fit is someone who's globally curious, someone who genuinely wants to understand how the world works. They should be outgoing, comfortable engaging with diplomats, peers, and community leaders. They should be a team player, someone that thrives with people from all different backgrounds. They should be news aware, following current events and having opinions about them. They should also be research minded, someone who enjoys digging into issues and presenting their findings in group discussions. And also, most importantly, change driven. We want people who want real responsibility, not somebody who just wants to fill a resume line. Once you're in, here's how the program is structured. We work through 4 thematic units. The curriculum is built around the units that connect directly to what is happening in the world right now. Unit 1, Power, Sovereignty, and International Relations, how nations govern and interact on the world stage. Unit 2, Human Rights, right frameworks, advocacy, and their impact on policy. Unit 3, Development, economic growth, inequality, and sustainable development. And Unit 4, Peace and Conflict, causes of conflict, peacekeeping, and diplomacy in action. Those are the topics you'll be studying, but studying is only part of it. Let's talk about what you'll actually be doing once you get your boots on the ground. Here's what you'll actually be doing. Like I said, this program is hands-on. Here's what our real interns do: testify at DC Council meetings on real policy issues, attend congressional hearings, see the government in action up close and personal, work with NGOs and international organizations on actual tasks, present at high-profile events with real audiences, visit embassies and participate in cultural immersion experiences and visit cultural institutions, and collaborate globally through Model UN. Speaking of that, I would love to show you what that actually looks like. So let's take a quick look at a Model UN video from one of our students.
Thank you all for all your support. I'm really glad to be here and to welcome also friends that I've met in the past years to become. Well, the first thing I remember about my experience at UNESCO Center for Peace was not a speech, a panel, or a title. It was a moment of silence. A room full of young people from different countries sitting together, realizing that the problems we were talking about were not just theoretical, they were personal. They were real. And somehow, They connected all of us. That was the moment I understood something important. Global dialogue is not still. When we hear about global challenges, war, climate change, inequality, humanitarian crisis, they often feel overwhelming. Like problems discussed in rooms we will never enter by people we will never meet. But the truth is that there is a room where these conversations happen. That room is the General Assembly. The United Nations General Assembly is the principal deliberative body of the United Nations. It brings together 193 countries, each with one vote. Think about that for a moment. In a world where power is needed, where voices are often silenced, there exists a space built on one radical idea, that every nation has the right to speak. The General Assembly was created in 1945 after World War II. After the war, so what happens when dialogue collapses? When fear replaces cooperation and when the silence becomes disruption. The General Assembly was humanity's decision to try something different, to believe that talking, even when it's uncomfortable, is better than fighting. Today, the General Assembly addresses the issues that define our lives, even if we don't know it is. Peace and security, climate change, human rights, inequality, humanitarian crisis. Its resolutions are not laws, but they shape priorities. They influence action. They send a message about what the world chooses to care about. To hold these conversations, the General Assembly relies on a structure. A president elected each year, vice president, committees, the UN Secretariat, and national delegations. At UNESCO Center for Peace, I saw this process reflected in a smaller case. Young people debating with seriousness, disagreeing with respect, listening with intention. No one was pretending to have all the answers, but everyone understood the responsibility of asking the right question. And for the first time, global governance feels rich. And that matters because youth are not a side note in global decision making. Today, there are 1.8 billion young people in the world, the largest young population in history. And we're not waiting for permission to care. We're not waiting for the future to begin. Youth bring urgency, creativity, and long-term vision to global dialogue. Not because we are idealistic, but because we will live the consequence. Youth participation is not symbolic. It strengthens legitimacy. It brings accountability. It reminds institutions that the future has a voice. Right now. At UCP, I realized that youth leadership is not about being loud. It's about being present, prepared, and willing to engage. I'm deeply grateful to the Mayor of Washington, D.C. for recognizing my participation and youth leadership. This recognition is not an end, it's a responsibility. I also extend my sincere appreciation to Kente International for supporting spaces where young people are not just invited to observe, but empowered to contribute. The United Nations General Assembly is not perfect, but it's proof of something essential, that the world still believes in dialogue, and you are the reason for that belief to continue. Youth participation is not about preparing the future, it's about shaping the present with responsibility, courage, and global commitment. Thank you.
As you can see, our interns don't just learn about international relations, they practice it. So with all this experience behind you, where can this actually take you? Well, let's look at the career paths that this can open up. Where this takes you. These are high-skilled, high-wage, in-demand careers, and this internship builds a foundation for all of them. Careers in diplomacy, international organizations, humanitarian aid, journalism, international law, and policy and economics. So the real question is this you? Let's find out. Now, are you the one? Ask yourself honestly, do you see yourself in any of these questions? Do you watch the news and actually have opinions about it? Are you comfortable speaking in front of people or willing to learn? Do you want to understand why the world is the way it is? Are you someone who shows up, follows through, and takes initiative? Do you enjoy working with people from different cultural or international backgrounds? If the answer is yes, we'd love to have you. Thank you so much for listening.